Live?
I think we are. I think we're almost live. We're back. Back
We
on
are
track.
back in town. Hopefully on
boys are
both
back in
sides of the continent.
Oh wait, I'm gonna. You look a bit larger. Let me.
Larger than life. Ah, wow.
Or not.
The
No, it seems
the
correct.
cropper.
I don't know. Hey, thanks
I'm
everyone for
curious.
watching. We're back. Weekly stream where we talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now we can talk about the full game because we both have played a lot of it. Have you finished it?
Oh, I still miss like the Naui quest, I think, and some Yasuke quests, but I finished like the main goal of the game, I would say.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. No spoilers, of course, in this stream whatsoever. But now, like we of course have been doing it pre-launch, but now also post-launch, every Friday or Friday. Time is it's crazy nowadays, but Wednesday.
It
So
is.
every Wednesday, like this. So this time, look, because next week or in 2 weeks we will have the daylight savings. So we go an hour to the.
Mm.
We lose an hour. We lose an hour. Or
Oh,
we get
that's
an
gonna
extra
be
hour.
crazy.
I never know what happens. But basically, then we will be 1 hour later. But it will be Wednesday around this time. It's not hard. I'm making it way harder than it is. But how have you been? I've not talked to you since since we've started playing. Again, no spoilers. But I think what we want to do now is answer your spoiler-free questions. Maybe after watching our videos, you're like, okay, but what about this? And then we can touch on that during the stream. Next week, we can, of course, talk about our first week with the game. We want to hear from you as well. Like, that's, I think, why what we're doing right now is the most exciting. We have been, like, speculating all together. Now we have played, but next week, everyone will have played. So then we will be
Yeah,
doing a
finally.
poll, how people are feeling and stuff like that. So that's very exciting. I want to thank Arkham Knight there for the super chat. Hey, Yor, I hope all's well tomorrow. It's the big day. Love your chat. Been a member for a long time. Appreciate your super chat there. That's very, very kind. And people are saying, who's the other guy? Because, believe it or not, Frankie boy, Fragnart, of course, when with the Twitch drop. So if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you link your Ubisoft Connect account with your Twitch account. They can get really, really cool outfits. The crazy part is, I can actually show it in the game. Okay, but wait, how do I...
Yeah, please go ahead. So welcome everybody. Everybody who doesn't know me, I'm Fragnard, aka Frankie Boy, a German creator. And to my German community, of course, that's the one and only JorRaptor, since I'm live as well. Normally I do stream in German, but today the first part of the stream will be in English because it's Assassin's Cast time, finally, after all of these weeks.
Yeah, hello everyone. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag to Germany. Yeah, I promised to go live, so we decided to do it together.
Yeah, and you can get drops this way. Like we're like that. We give
The
you
best
free
of both
items.
worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm super curious about that Yasuke gear showcase that you prepared there.
Yeah, I wanna. We're gonna look at it in a moment, but I wanna make sure that I got the game going too. I can of course just go here. Oh, and now we're gone. Yeah, see, so.
All right, bye.
And now I'm doing the show solo. It's that this is not
Perfect.
no. That's not the plan. No, but yeah, it's kind of wild now that we can talk about the game while playing and while showing, like, actually while being in the game. Obviously, these streams are more like discussions and stuff, but there are cool Twitch drops, and they are, yeah, believe me, they are awesome in game. So you want to get them if you're on YouTube.
They are pretty beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. So, does the weapon
almost as
transmog...
nice as the Sprecher Naginata.
Nah, that one sucks. That one sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, we got a unique design, dude. It's a recolor of a weapon that's already in the game. Okay, so we have already many questions, but at first I wanna talk to me. How are you feeling now that you've played a lot of Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am having a blast right now. I played 50 hours, I think, so far.
crazy.
And yeah, I loved it. I think it's in my top 3 AC games so far.
Woo!
I did not finish it yet, though, as I stated before, but I finished, like, I think the chunky part of that game. And I'm super curious for the community to find out, as you just stated before, what everybody thinks about it. Because right now, I think Metacritic, I didn't check it today, but yesterday was like pretty decent, I think. Some German press, even who are pretty strict with AC or have been pretty strict, they're called GameStar. I think you met them when we
Mm-hmm.
were in Quebec, right? They said it's like an 87 of 100.
That's crazy.
Pretty decent rating, and they were like, yeah, I expected everything, the downfall of the series, but I was pleasantly surprised. So
I'm
yeah, I
I'm just
think
wild to be like. Let's take a step back. How can you expect that? I'm not like there was nothing I think that they showed that was like, oh my god, are they doing the right things? Um, it was just a lot of noise that was based on nothing, and that's kind of what these review scores showed, right? They showed that where was all the negativity coming from? Like for
Mhm.
a game that now sits at an 83 on Metacritic, this was the downfall for the series. It was going to improve upon the most popular formula that Valhalla, like Valhalla was the most successful game. This is basically a, yeah, of course not a direct sequel, but it's like it takes a lot of like things from that game and improves upon them in one of the best settings I think they had so far. So I think they had a lot of things going for it, but yeah, the internet was just for some reason against it. We of course know some reasons, but yeah, they were all kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know.
Pinyo says, yeah, it's the German community, they hate everything.
I don't. Well, I love to blame it on the German community. I'm kidding. No, but I don't think it was just the German community. But
Yeah,
no, but
I
it's
think so
awesome
too.
that we're now here and that yeah the game. I mean, to be fair, to look at it from a positive like point of view, I do think a lot of people might jump into this game not expecting a lot, and then they will be very pleasantly surprised. So in that regard, I think it will work. But as like we both have been following all the marketing, all the preview footage, everything that they dropped, and I was never like, oh, this is gonna be the downfall of the series. Far from it, actually.
Mm.
But yeah, cool that it did work out. So what were your kind of your favorite parts about the game?
Oh, for me, obviously, Naue is the true highlight of that whole game. I pretty much love how dynamically she plays. It's just great to see her walking over those roofs. I mean, parkour isn't an integral part of that game, I would say, but it's fun if you decide to parkour it with her on your own. I love the way she's dynamically interacting with the world. Yeah, I think it has never been at that stage how Assassin's Creedy an assassin ever played. And yeah, I think she's like the best assassin I ever played so far. Stealth is just so rewarding. Yasuke feels like just powerhouse, slashing everybody away. But yeah,
I
I would
love
say
how you were
playing
like
now.
texting me. I love how you were like texting me your when you were playing Yasuke. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh my god, I can't believe I just went to this area with like 5 targets and killed them all without dying.
Yeah, it was crazy. I also tried like a tough boss, and I tried it like I think 4 times with Naue, and then I switched to Yasuke and first timed him. It was
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
easy.
To be
It
fair
was.
though, later in the game with Naue you can do some crazy stuff too, like do an
Mhm.
assassination in combat. That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, indeed. It's really awesome if you like play Kusarigama in late game. I really enjoy that as well. For some awesome AoE bleeding damage, etc. And you swirl around, make everybody bleed. That's just feeling great. And when I restarted the game yesterday, I think you did some end game free, spoiler free stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or some mid game spoiler free
Yeah,
stuff like me.
exactly.
I did like a new save, and I almost forget how weak now it was at the start when you first get out of your hideout and you're in that world, and almost every enemy is a threat to you.
I think
Because
the progression is really good.
yeah,
How she
exactly,
evolves. So
exactly.
that is, I think, what they have done so well, and it's kind of like this is what the game should always have been in a way, but it feels like Valhalla just kind of it changed that expectation in a way where I'm just so happy that Shadows nails it. But because if
Mhm.
you look at an Eivor at the start and at the end, you could still be wearing the Raven Clan armor and just be fine. Like there was no real impact of the gear. Like unless we're talking about the Isu items you get very late, right? In Valhalla.
Yeah,
Like that is the first time that you're like, whoa, this has an actual impact on my gameplay. And it's so cool that in Shadows, the first time you get into the open world, you already see castles with new legendary items you can get, and it's optional. And I love how a lot of the content in this game is okay. I'm probably not even going to. Sure, there are some castles or stuff that you go to for the main quest, but if you just follow the main quest, you will not get a lot of those items. So exploration is really rewarding, and I love how, yeah, okay, now we're fighting this Samurai Daisho. That's pretty challenging, but if you
yeah.
do that, you know, okay, I am rewarded with a cool new piece of gear that, for one, looks really cool and also has a big impact on my gameplay.
I also really like that they show the icon for the character or the item slot in specific. If you hover over that castle's reward and you immediately know, okay, that's a Yasuke thing. I don't have him unlocked yet. Why should I do that castle
Yeah, yeah,
now? Doesn't make sense. So that's great that they are pretty transparent about that reward that you can earn for these missions or like these self-created side missions in conquering the castle for your good, or maybe just
yeah.
robbing it and coming back next season.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's a lot of fun stuff, for sure, and I think that is what this game nails, and I think that is what, yeah, the RPG games with the Valhalla were kind of missing. That Odyssey did it pretty well, but I think Shadows does it even better. Where I like the fact that they are going, okay, let's just make every item kind of feel overpowered. Where every time you get a new item, you're like, whoa, this is probably really really strong. Instead of, yeah, you kind of like plus 10 attack, and then okay, let's combine it with some other gear, and then hopefully it will be great. We're now getting into the hideout. Did you, by the way, know that it's
By the way,
30 FPS on console?
crazy. How did you get that item set? Is it like the deluxe edition set? You got that through the Animus Hub then? Through the you bought it?
No, the deluxe edition has, of course, a code for it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have that. Ah, you unlocked the collector's edition code that you got early.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, we're
Smart.
we're the only ones highlighting the deluxe edition items now. Okay, we have many questions. Of course, we said, okay, we're gonna answer your questions. I wanted to catch up with Frankie Boy here, with Fragnart, to kind of hear his thoughts on the game. But great that, just like me, he's very much enjoying it, because that's, I think, the cool part about this too. There's still so much we both can do in the game, even though we've synced.
Mm.
We've already played a lot of hours, and yeah, with the anomalies, the weekly missions that we will, of course, be talking about in the coming weeks, and hopefully, I mean, they already tease some events and other post-launch stuff. It will, of course, be very exciting to cover that and see what they add to the game. Like, if Odyssey is any indication,
Mm.
then that game got like new stuff every week. So I really hope they, yeah, do at least something like that, where we have
Legendary live events.
legendary live events, a new Lost Tales of Greece mission, then we got a new mythical creature, then a new, yeah, like there was a ton
Hideout
of stuff.
extension, new buildings, maybe like in Valhalla. That would be great if they add some more grid to that hideout. I think that's
I
totally
mean,
possible as well.
yeah, but I'm already at 30 FPS. I don't need it to go down to 20. So please
Yeah, you
don't
need to
touch the
plant
hideout.
more lighting in that hideout and
Oh,
turn ray
yeah.
tracing on. You're gonna be at 10
No.
FPS. Well, I don't have any performance issues on PC, I have
No,
to say,
PC
in
is
that
great.
hideout.
PC is
And
great.
you're playing on PS5 Pro, right?
Yeah. But I played on PS5
Mhm.
as well to test it out, and it's the
Same.
same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It makes sense if you really stuff that into a small room. You have to render everything at the same time. Obviously, the console will then break down at some point, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, Frankie boy, I by the way want this set from you if I win with the giveaway.
The KN dual pack almost reminds me of a Karen dual pack.
So
I'm
of
gonna
course,
be angry.
for new people that have not watched our shows before, at the end of every episode, we would do a prediction for what we thought would be in the game. Did you already reach the box?
The box?
The box. We at one point had like.
Oh yeah. I have that box.
Yeah, you know the box. You know what is in the box.
No.
You know, I mean, no. I don't mean that box. I mean the box in so there was like a moment where they would walk into a coven, like an underground area, and then we saw like, and we predicted what would be in that box. Remember that? It's a long time
Oh
ago.
yeah, I don't know what we predicted, but
No,
I know
we
we
do.
predicted
We
something.
both. Yeah. But I now know what is in that box, which is exciting. But yeah, we will talk about that later. But yeah, so this mount's pretty crazy, and although this set is pretty cool too, but yeah. So so better get that credit card
Mhm.
ready for me. No, but maybe you won. I mean, to be fair, I think
You can send an invoice and maybe I will decide to pay it.
To be fair, though, I think you might have won. Yeah, I think you might have won.
Really?
But yeah. We're gonna talk about that later for people that are watching.
I'm
weekly.
super curious, yeah. I mean, people still don't have their hands on that game yet, and we can't yet show everything of that game as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
One more day to go or a few more hours to go. I
Yeah.
think in 2 hours, everybody with a VPN could play it.
No, already, because it's already out in
Already.
Australia and New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah, but you then need to use a VPN to set your
Yeah,
time
or
zone.
on Xbox, you just like change your console
Change
to
your time.
New Zealand or Australia. Okay.
Exactly. On PC you can do it as well. On PlayStation, I think you can't.
No.
No.
Oh, by the way,
Unfortunate.
I recorded some footage of the Twitch drops. So
Oh, yeah.
we can watch that.
I presented it live on stream yesterday when I got it. Because I got it live on stream makes sense as well. And I thought like, oh, new epics. I think it looks pretty decent.
It's a recolor, but I think the colors are awesome. My theory is that this was a Red Bull outfit, don't you think? I don't know. It's like a red and blue, and we know. Oh, this
Also some wings, yeah.
annoying Ronin, go down.
But they're doing some Red Bull.
Yeah, I
cooperations.
know,
think
but
some
maybe
parkour stuff.
maybe Red Bull did not pay enough or something to get the outfit, so they were like, okay, let's do the Twitch drops. I don't know. It's probably not that, but looks kind
I
of
don't
cool. So you
think
can
Red
get
Bull
that.
is broke. I thought Ubisoft was broke.
Or maybe Red Bull's like we will not be paying more. But yeah, it looks cool. So that's the Twitch drop for if you're watching on Twitch. Okay, let's get into some questions.
Yeah. Also, if you could compare that game to one or two other Assassin's Creeds, what would they be, or which games would they be?
Shadows. Yeah, I think Odyssey makes a lot of sense in terms of. Yeah, in terms of the. I would say Odyssey and Origins.
Mm.
Because Odyssey, in terms of like that, if you want, you can really go crazy with the builds and yeah, upgrading your gear and having the random loot and all that sort of stuff. And it's kind of important. Like you need to kind of worry about your assassin gear with the health segment upgrade. So as you probably know, enemies have these health segments, and if you, for example, at the start can only assassinate enemies with 2 health segments, But then by upgrading your hidden blade through skills and also wearing certain gear, you can assassinate higher rank enemies. So yeah, that's like just like in Odyssey, if you don't focus on assassin gear, you will not be a very good assassin. So that's kind of the same here. But Origins, of course, had the tools as well that we now see Naue used to. I mean, Mirage, of course, brought them back in this sort of more RPG format, looking at the combat. So, but I think Origins, in terms of maybe the how grounded it is, because yeah, the game, like they said before release, it was they really wanted to just focus on the setting and how the people live there without going really crazy. And I think Origins was also for me a game where I constantly was like, wow, this setting is amazing. And I had that in Shadows as well. While in Valhalla, I did not really have that. I thought Norway looked pretty awesome, but England, and that made sense for that time period. But England wasn't
made
that
sense,
exciting.
but I mean, yeah, England just looks like in England, dark and rainy in most parts, and
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes when the sun comes out, it looks awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah, I said exactly the same thing in my review. I was like, gameplay-wise, I think it's like pretty close to Odyssey, and in terms of the general feeling it delivers, it's like Origins, and obviously it's no desert, but I don't know, the general feeling, the emotions that come up in me remind me of Origins, and that's like my two favorite ACs
yeah,
combined. This is so awesome, and that's why it might also be my most favorite AC of all times. I
ooh,
can't state that yet because I played Odyssey for I don't know, 400 hours, Valhalla
yeah,
450 hours, Origins 200 hours plus.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't yet decide.
Yeah, we have to
That's too
wait and
early.
see how this game fares in time, because I do think Valhalla got better over time. If you play that
Mm.
game now, it's way different than when it was at launch. Odyssey kind of grew on me too. The more I played, while Origins, it was the opposite, because that game was pretty limited with only having weapons that actually had some
Mm.
stats. Um, so yeah, you were kind of, and at one point you kind of figured all the moves out. I think Shadows has a great chance of being very, because of how every character, like for one, we have two very different characters, and the amount of combos and skills that you even unlock late in the game, the amount of perks and engravings that you can find, I really think there's a lot to, like, we will probably be finding out new tactics we can use in a few weeks and months. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
And at one point, when you might be like sick of Naue, you can also switch to Yasuke, which is
I would
great.
argue that you should just switch like all the time. Like that is really what I what I really liked. How I played was really okay. I wanna I'm gonna do this part of the main quest. Kind of how what I felt like. Like okay, now I'm ready to be stealth again, and I got like a cool throwing knife or kunai built together. So I was like, okay, now
Hmm.
I'm excited to try that. Oh, I've not played Yasuke in a few hours. Let's switch back to him. And then I figured out, oh wow, I got some new gear while playing Naue. I got some new gear for Yasuke that I can now try out. So suddenly I could already play him in a different way. Hey, I kind of like Yasuke, so I was playing him for quite some time. So I really feel that, yeah, it's kind of cool to switch around. That would really be my tip to everyone watching as well. Sure, Naue is great, and but I think Naue is even better if you've not played her for some time, if that makes sense, because then you're like,
Hmm.
okay, wow, she is super fast. Wow, she feels so amazing. And then going back to Yasuke, you're like, oh, that's actually pretty cool too, to not be worried that I now alerted the whole camp and got these guardians after me. With Yasuke, you can
Just
just stand
slash
your ground.
everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
What I did as well is like go to a castle and open up all the doors and disable the alarms, and then switch to Yasuke out of the fort and just go in.
Oh
Here I
wow.
am. Was quite fun, to be honest. Yeah, but most of the time I have to be honest again, and I play Naue all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love her so much. It's not that I don't like Yasuke, but I love her so much.
It's
So
great. It's
Yeah.
really really good. Yeah. Yeah. And it's still every time I boot up the game, you're like, whoa, and just running feels so fast. It's
Mm.
hard to kind of like put into words, but once you get your hands on the controller, you will know.
I'm
Okay, we got
super
some.
happy for the people now getting on the controllers in like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the final countdown.
Okay, we have
Also, we
Samaya here.
missed
Oh,
some questions. Yeah,
yeah, we have a lot of questions.
exactly.
Sorry, we'll now get to that. I've not seen Fragnard in a while, so we got to kind of catch up here. Samaya, I went through your Shadow stream and I never saw him successfully employ stealth. I would recommend, Samaya, that you go back to the stream and watch it again, because I'm not gonna read the rest of your super chat because I did some stealth. Okay, then we move on to Xangs. Do you? I don't know how to pronounce this, but do you guys
Yeah.
agree with the Game Ranks review? I've watched and like clicked around a bit yesterday, but yeah, we're all busy with making content. So, can anyone give me the TLDR on the Game Ranks review? I'm really curious on that. Samaya, thanks for the other super chat there. I don't want to talk about the story, but appreciate that. I had a laugh. Is there any mention of the Isu or a piece of Eden? Anima, thanks for your super chat there too. I think it's kind of hard to talk about that without going into spoilers, so I don't think we should do it. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I think let's leave the story talk for later stages.
Yeah, exactly. Because I like that is of course, for one, we are like, it's very cool with what we do that we can play the game early, but also because you then go in without hearing anything. And I want that for you as much as possible as well. Without knowing,
Yeah.
oh, this is not in the game, oh, this is in the game. I had the same questions as you before jumping into the game, and I think it's better if you just play it without knowing it. I wanted to know these things too, but I'm happy that I did not when I got into the game.
Yeah.
Then we
By
have
the way,
oh,
Metascore just changed a little bit. We are now on 87 on Xbox, 81 on PS5, and 78 on PC. I wonder why PC is the worst though, because I think it was so
usually
beautiful on PC.
usually what happens is that the amount where the game has the most amount of reviews, that one has the lowest score. So I'm not sure if the PC has the most reviews. I think you can see that though, but
PS5 has the most reviews,
Okay,
but
that's
not
81.
the lowest score. Yeah,
yeah. And Xbox probably has like the least reviews, so that's why.
yeah,
it's probably higher.
exactly.
So, but yeah, that is a big differentiating between the things. But does the world feel empty compared to Odyssey and Origins? As Anthony, thanks also for your super chat there. Jury is,
Hi,
by the way,
Charles.
saying if the game flops, I'm blaming the Germans. So yeah, did the world feel empty to you compared to Odyssey and Origins?
Excuse me?
Did the world feel empty for you compared to Odyssey and Origins?
Nah, I wouldn't say that, no. I mean, we of course have a lot of parts where it's just mountain or forest, but for Odyssey we had parts where there was just water. For Origins we had parts where there's just desert. I think it's the same-ish, I would say, but it looks different because of the mountains, and I really love that landscape. I like the mountains, definitely.
Yeah, I think.
So, I
sorry?
think it's kind of the same level. What would you say?
I think it depends. I said it in my review as well, but I kind of miss the animals because they were in those empty parts. Usually, you would go into the woods and a bear would attack you, or a pack of wolves. You don't have that. But on the other hand, what you do have, and that helped me, like I still think Ubisoft, and that's kind of overall where I think they should put a lot of effort in the next game, is really improved the open world in terms of exploration and surprising elements. Because Shadows still, even with some of the changes they made, where if you go to a viewpoint, you will just see the question marks, it is still very much, we have a world, we put the points of interest on the map, and in between those points of interest, not a lot is happening. And I really think that they can make a lot of progress if they take some things from other games where you can, where you're not solely based on the points of interest, but also on random events that can happen in the world. I mean, maybe not on the level of a Red Dead 2, but that game was so awesome to explore because you were constantly like, what am I going to find here? In Shadows, at one point you will have encountered almost every activity in the game, so it's not like, okay, what am I going to encounter here? It's more like, what of the 5 things that I know can be there will I encounter here? So the surprising
There's
elements.
this trader guy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's this trader guy. It's an archery challenge. Oh, so I think they can really do a way better job at that. But I do think it did not hurt me for Shadows that much, because another part that really helps is the target system. Because with the target system, you have, instead of just one objective board with only only Order of Ancients targets, like Templar targets, you now have for almost every faction a circle with different targets, and they are randomly put in the world, or not randomly, but they are everywhere in the world. So even if you go to a place that at one point might be like, there's nothing here, there could be a target there still if you just look around. So it will have something, and that, I think, made it so that there are more things going on than just the original or like the regular points of interest, the regular activities. But I still think they can I want to go into the farmlands or something, and then a sword is stuck in the grain or something. In the ground, and then I'm like, how am I gonna get this out? And then someone runs up to me, like, you wanna be able to tell stories to other people, like, look at what happened in my game. And I don't think Shadows really has that. So I think that is something they can improve upon. But again, for Shadows, because they have so much other stuff, and you constantly have a new objective or something you're working towards, that gives a very, very, very good reward. I don't think that is much of an issue. Another part of it is that the game is beautiful, and I was constantly just, wow, the wind, and now all these leaves are flying around. I'm now in winter. This looks insane. So I was more just impressed by everything around me that was going on. For me did not really matter that some of the parts were empty. Although putting you do know, I miss the animals in, because they could. That is the cool part about a Far Cry, for example. You have a bison just coming on the road and charging towards a car, like something crazy like that happens. Or in the previous games as well, you had the bear attack a group of Spartans or something. And now it's always...
Oh yeah, that was cool, yeah.
Yeah, you have cool moments like that. And now it's always, oh, this humanoid faction is fighting this humanoid faction. I don't know what this is about. I really don't care, because I'm getting nothing out of it. And it doesn't even look funny. It's just all the enemies doing their regular attacks that they would do against you as well. So it's like, what am I looking at? And I'm just cruising by. But you do have those moments in the game. But I think an animal usually creates more mayhem. So I think it's a bit more fun. But hope that kind of answers the question. But I think because the world is so beautiful, and like Origins, you're constantly like, what is that in the distance? I want to go there. It makes... the empty parts that you have to cross to get there less of an issue, I think.
Also, like, the seasonal system really adds up on that, because if you come back to the same place again but in a different season, it might as well also feel as if you haven't been there yet. Especially for winter, it really changes the landscape the most, I would say. So that's why winter is my most favorite time of the year in Shadows, because you have like the ice, the frozen lakes, etc. It's just so cool to come back at a different time and revisit that, even though like you might be encountering the same type of enemy, the same event, or the same auto-generated Katakura quest, or how Kakakura? How are they called again? Yeah, just like that small huts.
Yeah, the safe. I just named them. Yeah, the safe houses.
Yeah, safe house,
Yeah,
assassin
yeah,
safe
yeah,
house.
yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
definitely a thing.
yeah. No, but
But yeah,
yeah, no, but yeah, that's
good
kind of
question.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I again, I think that they can still put some more effort there for that into that in the future, but like
Oh yeah, Animus hub quests
yeah,
right here. Did you already finish one battle pass? I switched mid battle pass to the other project.
No, I don't think you can complete one battle pass yet. Because I calculated you need 5 weeks, so and then do all the missions. We got Isaac as well. I've recently joined. Could you provide information regarding the graphics and frames for Xbox and performance mode? And I saw some people ask about the base PS5 performance mode as well. So, of course, yeah, you have been playing on PC, right? So I played on GeForce Now PC. That was really amazing. Then I switched to PS5 Pro and base PS5. It's still great. All the footage that I'm showing here is on PS5 Pro. But yeah, the game is great on PS5 as well. I really recommend that you check out the Digital Foundry review that they did, where they really put the things side to side. But yeah, it's basically very solid. But I played on performance mode. I know they say like balance mode might be the best way, but 60 to 40 FPS is still not good enough for me. So I really hope that they. So yeah, I think the performance mode is great. It's just that the big thing is that in the hideout you have 30 FPS on every console, even on PS5 Pro. So that is kind of stopping me from enjoying the hideout more, I think. So that is something to keep in mind.
By the way, you have like a pure horror outfit on now. Eh? I'm glad you changed it here.
No, yeah, I'm using the Twitch drop outfit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was from our stream yesterday, and I started the stream like this for people
with the horror outfit.
Yeah, but I had her back turned to the camera. Let me see. So
crazy. Yeah.
And then I
turn
switched
around, and everybody's like, "Ah!
Yeah,
I don't want to play this horror game."
So yeah, that's kind of funny.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
But yeah,
And I
that's
see also you got that block armor for Yasuke that we talked about.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that one is crazy. It's crazy.
It is indeed from Kyoto.
So Anthony also asking about the likelihood of a mythical DLC. I think it's very likely, but yeah, we will have to wait a bit for that. So Maya, your favorite weapons for Yasuke and Nawe? Let's pick one.
Kusarigama, of course.
Yeah, for Nawe.
I would say maybe even the bow for Yasuke.
Yeah,
or Naginata. I would say range bow, melee, Naginata.
Yeah, I get that. No, yeah, I think the bow is it requires more work to make it work versus an Odyssey, but it is still very, very good.
Play Hunter.
Yeah.
In Germany we say spielt Jäger.
Jägermeister,
and how?
right?
Yes, Jägermeister. Achtung wild. What's your favorite loadout then?
Tento dagger and hidden blade for combat, and I would say the Naginata as well for Yasuke. I think that one has the best balance between the swiftness of the katana and the
AOE swing.
Yeah, and yeah, the AOE of course as well. While the Cannonball is just a bit too slow for me, but maybe we can improve that.
I think you first were like a Cannonball super fan.
Yeah, I know.
But,
yeah, Naginata is like way better because the charged heavy attack from the Naginata is OP. So
it's great. I also have that trinket that poisons enemies with charged attacks, and it's awesome combination.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was in the daily rotation for the shop when you when we were playing in February or so. Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
Pretty early.
Yeah.
In the good old days. Yeah, but yeah, regarding weapons, Tanto is awesome as well, especially
yeah.
like the mid-fight assassination. It's pretty decent,
Yeah, it's OP.
I
It's
would
really,
say.
really good.
I think it's like the best active ability for now in
Yeah,
combat.
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's just for me with the bow and being stealth with Yasuke that you have to use these silent arrows and you only have like a few of them. Because
Hmm.
all the enemies with armor, they will always break their armor first. So you have to use the stealth arrows for that. But there are just not enough stealth arrows. So
Yeah, I think they nerfed them as well, right?
yeah, yeah, they did. They first, but I think that it was not a nerf. It was probably that they first. So
Balanced.
this is like I made a lot of notes for things they changed since the day one patch. So people will never know this because yeah, they did not play the pre-launch version of that. But yeah, look at the Naginata just.
It's awesome. Especially, is that the Naginata from the boss fight with the parry effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfectly balanced with that armor. It's just block
Yeah,
damage,
yeah. So
block
for people who
damage.
don't know, with this Naginata, if you block, so hold the block button, you parry. So you don't have to worry about hitting the window anymore. It's
And then
kind
you
of
deal
broken.
damage to those.
I think
with
it's
each
wild that
parry,
they
but you can now block with a parry.
I think it's
crazy,
wild
yeah.
that they put these items in because this game they want to support it for a long time. Why would you ever switch? Like this is such a key system that you now can ignore. I love that headbutt, by the way. Oh, there's someone you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just people coming in and I'm
Okay.
waving.
Yeah. No, welcome everyone. Guten
The
Tag.
Suchukanta, yeah.
So we also have Get Frogged saying, is the ally outfit for Sekiryu in the deluxe pack or separate bundle in the Helix? It's separate. I don't have it. So.
Yeah. I'm curious about the Helix items though. I think some of them really look OP yet.
Yeah, it will be fun. Can't
It
wait
will
for you
be fun.
to buy me one.
It will be expensive as well.
Not if you buy me one.
Yeah, then it will be for free for you,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But maybe you will buy me a set. Could be.
I think there's totally a high chance that you win. Anthony once again with super chat. No spoilers. Do you think Naui will be as beloved as a protagonist as Ezio Bayek or even Cassandra by the fans in the future? Frankie boy.
Huh? I think you were just reading something, right?
Yeah. Did you hear it?
No, sorry.
Do you think Naui will be as loved as a protagonist as Ezio Bayek or even Cassandra by the fans in the future?
Oh, that's an interesting one. German press said actually, like I think GameStar said, it's like the best assassin since Ezio. So
Bayek
I'm
Cassandra
curious.
did not exist. Okay, great, good stuff.
Yeah, the best assassin since Ezio, and yeah, they claim Ezio's the best one. I think it's the most loved one, at least for hardcore old school fans. My favorite assassin is obviously Bayek. For reasons. But I don't know, it might change if I still have some Naui missions open, as I already told you guys. So I'm curious what will happen with her and her story
Oh yeah.
and her background. But I think, yeah, Yasuke and Naui really play well side by side, and you can really see the differences between their opinions sometimes as well. I think she can be like an audience favorite, though.
I think
not
it
the
also
most
depends on the
favorite.
post-launch because, of course, for Bayek, I kind of love that we had like 2 extra DLCs with him as well. So yeah, you spend even more time with the character. Same for Cassandra, Alexios, of course. So I think it's for me. Yeah, they still have some work to do. I think it's hard. I think now it turned out for me much better than I anticipated going into the game. But on the same level as Ezio and Bayek, I don't know. It's
tough.
But
to
I
say
think
and to
it's
predict.
possible because
I mean, you
Cassandra
can't.
is like this huge favorite for people as well.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
not just
I
a
like Cassandra as
nostalgic
well.
thing. Yeah.
I also like that she can appear in any Assassin's Creed. By the way, did you like notice that there was like this article stating, yeah, Cassandra is very much alive at this at this year. Everybody stated like Cassandra is in that game. What did you think about that?
I mean, it is gonna happen. She is gonna show up at one point. That I think, but I think it's, or maybe she's already getting. Again, we cannot say anything about this, so we're gonna skip.
Let's
to the
not
next
talk
part.
about it.
Yeah,
Then.
let's
Okay.
not talk about it. Ezio's 3 separate games. No way he can be topped as an AC character. I get that, Demon Straps, but if you think about it, I think I played more with Bayek than with Ezio. Because Origins is a way bigger game, and you had 2 big DLCs. Cassandra, I spend more time with Cassandra than Ezio. So, the game part is not really important anymore.
Yeah, and it's also regarding Ezio, it's of course a lot of nostalgia as well.
Yeah.
Because people think like, oh, back then, those were the golden days. But if you
Yeah,
play
yeah,
that
exactly.
game now, you think like, no,
Okay.
maybe not.
Maybe
Not too
maybe,
much.
yeah.
I mean, in terms
It's
of
still great.
storytelling, it was
Yeah, yeah.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
in terms of gameplay, I pretty much would prefer modern Assassin's Creeds all the time. Yeah.
100%. 100%. If you got some more questions, drop them down right now. If you already answered asked your questions and we did not get to it, sorry about that. But of course, many people are asking their questions. So if you put them down right now, we can quickly get to them. We have Doglet now saying, what do we know about the post-launch plans? And the thing is that we know about the projects, the battle passes that we got. And I did a calculation. Hold on to your horses. It takes 5 weeks if you do all the 4 weekly quests to complete a project. And there are 2 projects right now. So that means that in 10 weeks, 2.5 months, we will have completed both projects. Which I think says to me that we either get a new project every month, because it takes almost a month to finish one project, or that every 2 months or so, they're gonna add a couple new projects. But
I think there's a 3rd slot already, right?
yeah, they're already teasing that, hey, it's coming. But I mean, they of course want to. I think they want to make sure that even if you are the most hardcore player, so even if you started on Thursday and you do the 4 weekly missions, that you will never run out of. Because it would suck if you had no active project to work on. So I think they want to make sure that until the game support is over, which is probably gonna be in 2.5 years, 3 years, that they have
5 years. Joking.
That would be crazy. I hope we get a new game by then. But that there's always projects to work on, because how it basically works, you have these weekly missions. They give you a currency, and that currency is used to level up the battle pass. So if there's no battle pass for you to work on, there's no reason to do the missions. And and we never had that. We always had there was always an incentive to do the weekly missions because you got the Opal or Orichalcum. And now, because the Opal and Orichalcum are rewards for doing the battle pass, I don't think we can see a world where people have finished the battle pass with no new project to work on. So, yeah. And I think that means that in 2 months, we probably get a new project, the first song. So that is already something we can work on. And if you don't know, a battle pass includes a new outfit. But yeah, how they do it right now, we have 2 projects, because one includes the armor for Yasuke, the other for Naue. So I do think we might get sets of 2 projects all the time. Yeah. And then, they said events. They will, of course, we know about a ton of quality of life features they are working on. New Game Plus is coming. We, of course, have the first DLC with a new weapon type. So that's kind of what we know. Unless I miss something.
Multiplayer rumors only, unfortunately. But
Jeremy is asking, does the Battle Pass come with all the versions of the game? Yeah, it's free. So it's basically a new... I say Battle Pass, but they don't call it Battle Passes. It is kind of like UI-wise a Battle Pass, but it's not... It doesn't work like a Battle Pass in that there's a free and pay track. No, it's only a free track. So it's basically a way for you to earn extra items and currency that you can spend on the Helix items.
Oh, by the way, I also love that it's now like I mean it's Radar 2.0, but if you get it in the Animus Hub, you will also have these items in your new playthrough if you start a new game.
Oh,
I just noticed that yesterday on stream because I have these Animus Projects items as well there. On like a 2-hour save game, I now have these legendaries that I claimed with my other account.
so that would be
And
crazy. Yeah.
it wasn't like that before, because usually you had to get it in that new save file as well with Radar.
Oh yeah.
And now you have it from the start. I think that's a great improvement. And it also makes like the microtransactions cheaper then if you claimed it already. So that's a nice bonus as well.
Yeah.
No.
100%. Yeah. We have Cody say, do the enemies feel spongy?
I think like with Naui at level 3, 4, 5, enemies feel really spongy. Yeah. Some of them you can't eliminate with assassinations at all. They will pretty much dodge you all the time. And you will then have fights where you're like, I don't know, all the time dodging everything and then getting one hit, and then dodging. But in later stages of the game, this will totally change and you will gain power, you will gain better weapons and new skills. And then it will kind of change to a more dynamic action fight than like a Dark Souls style fight. That's my opinion for now. I think, yeah, especially yesterday with my new save file, I really noticed the difference with now early game versus late game. It's crazy. The development, we already touched on that. But yeah, at the start, I would say some enemies feel spongy, especially when you can't assassinate them.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. And with Yasuke, they can be a bit too. You just have to upgrade your gear, or like not maybe upgrade, but use the highest level gear, and kind of work on that. And especially later on, you have many ways. Like yesterday, I played with a perk that gave me 25% of my health, but 75% extra damage. And then the enemies
The cursed one.
Yeah, basically a cursed weapon. So then the enemies die really, really quickly. So that is another way you can kind of tweak that. But I don't think it's as bad as in Odyssey, where, especially with daggers or something, fighting some mercenaries would take ages. If you
did you already try out like these items where you have like, if you don't have a weapon on you, you deal plus 100% damage. If you don't have every weapon slot used, or plus 50% more damage per weapon, per armor slot that is not used. And then you basically fist fight naked, but have plus 250% damage.
I tried that, but the fists are really bad. So it would be fun to kind of tweak that and see if you can make it work. But yeah, there is unarmed combat again, which is cool to see. And I'm sure there will be builds that make that viable. But yeah, there are many trinkets in particular that say, hey, if you don't use any ability slots, or if you don't use any legendary gear, you get this plus this. So I think you can make really, really fun playstyles around that. So
I have one question, maybe you know it. Do you know how the poison or bleeding damage is calculated? Is it calculated based on your damage, or is it like a fixed percentage of enemy's life?
That's a good question. I've not tested that yet.
Because that would totally, like maybe, you know, this item for Yasuke where you parry and get a poison cloud. Yeah, you have nothing else on you, but you parry, get a poison cloud, and everybody's dying instantly. Would be fun as well, yeah.
Yeah, no, that is stuff that, like right now, I'm just focused on getting everything, getting a good overview of the game, and then we can see what it all...
I didn't try to benchmark it as well, it just came up with it, but maybe I can do that at some point.
We have Greg saying, are the weapons and gear unique, or it's like Odyssey where you can get lots of repeat items?
Repeat items?
Yeah, I think so the random loot is a bit dialed back in Shadows. There is still random loot, but you can also get settlement items, engravings. So you still get quite some loot, but not a lot of gear. So that is a way they made sure that you don't like fill your inventory with a lot of stuff. But it is still exciting because of transmog being there day one that you can. I kind of fill here, so maybe we can skip ahead because I do fix.
Yeah, I don't really see like the repeat items. That would be like the same item over and over again.
Yeah, no,
did not
I don't
see
really
that happen.
see a lot of that either. No, because the loot is few and far between. I'm not sure if they look at what you have and then, they look at that. But also because you can now have every weapon with poison build up, bleed build up, daze build up. There's like a lot of variety you have in the weapons you find. So even though the weapon maybe looks the same, it now has poison build up instead of bleed build up. So it is kind of different. So that makes it all different too. But to be fair, and I saw this critique from people, and I was like thinking about it. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Where, because the legendary gear is so impactful and you can already find it really early, at one point you will just kind of use that instead of care about the purple drops. Because
Yeah, exactly.
why don't you want an armor that can block or parry unblockable attacks and have other things going on instead of, because the perks on epic gear are just very boring. It's plus 10% extra damage after using an ability. You're like, okay, I can wait. Like, these legendary perks are so cool that you would be kind of stupid to not use them.
I think they really nailed that with Odyssey, where like legendary sets, they were super awesome, but the best things in the game were epics. Only if you had luck and got that certain perks that you needed. But you could farm that. And I think that was a lot of the fun that I had with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Maybe they implement that at a later stage here.
They have that here too. I'm not sure if I saw it here, but what at one point you will see epic gear that has an highlighted stat. Which means that is like a good roll on it. So I'm not sure if I can if we.
Yeah,
see
indeed. But at this point, I think like these unique legendary perks are too strong to dodge.
Oh yeah.
Like one.
Yeah, especially.
I don't know. With Naui assassinating lets you throw a kunai at the next target. It's just awesome because you can then triple assassinate.
It's like a skill. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But we have to kind of see how it shakes out. I think if the legendary perks were just new moves like that, then I do think the epic would have a place. Or if the epic had 3 engraving slots or something, right? That would be crazy. But yeah, maybe they do that later because Simon, the associate game director, did tease that they were thinking about new ways to repopulate the military castles with like new gear to earn. What if you then get pieces with 3 engraving slots? That would completely change the game, of course, but that's for the future.
It would.
I see some questions about the narrative. We're not going to answer those. Do you think they will add a new rarity? Again, I don't think they will need to add a new rarity, but I can see them add like a new engraving slot. Maybe. Jaden's
I mean, after 2 years,
yeah, not
they
too
could
fast.
do that. Like, I mean,
or in
with
New
Valhalla,
Game Plus.
they did it as
what
well.
If they
like,
do that in New Game Plus? So every item you find in New Game Plus is the same, but it has an extra engraving slot. You would argue
with
that
Witcher, it was like they put the prefix legendary before everything, I think, and for New Game Plus and just upgraded stats. But I would love like to have that at a later stage for motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. How many finishers does Jayton? Too little for me. There are only 2 per weapon. And there are 3 weapons, like 3 melee weapons with finishers per character. So I've been using the Naginata mostly. Like, how it will likely play out is you will try the 3 weapons and you will kind of get your favorite. And then you might switch when you get like a better weapon or a new legendary. But you're always going back to that favorite. That's at least what worked for me. And then you see the same finisher over and over and over again. And I really hope, and I've said it before, I hope they don't do that, but because then they create a problem and sell the fix. Like, what if they sell new finishers in the Helix shop? I don't want that, but I think it should. I think they should. 2 is not enough anymore, especially in a game like this where they're like, oh, want to play 100 hours? There is enough content. And I'm like, okay, but I'm seeing now I do the same things over and over, and Yasuke as well. And especially because some of the Naginata finishers where you cut the hands off and then the head, that's like 5 seconds. So I ran into a camp. I had that animation in 3 minutes time, 3 times. So
Yeah.
I do think that it would be cooler because that's what the older games really did well. Because I don't think they were like, they had like so many cool animations, like finishers, and they never got old for me. Also because those games were shorter, but also because you're constantly like, oh wow, I have not seen that one in forever, because it felt like they were rotating way more finishers instead of just 2 for the weapon you're using.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not that much into finishers, but I will then maybe decide to use my bow instead of a melee weapon to give me 5 more seconds of lifetime that I can use farming other stuff in that game.
5 seconds
Would
does
make sense.
add up.
I mean, also we will get a new weapon type soon. Maybe that will be the new favorite then. But I totally agree you will stick to your favorite weapon likely
Hey,
forever.
Moxie, thanks for joining the chat. I was noticing that in my first hours. I think you're talking about the finishers, right? Yeah. Hey. Yeah, curious to hear what you think of the game. Again, I mean, as a build like maniac like you, I do think there is some fun to be had in Shadows, but of course not on the same min-maxing level as the first Descendant and all that stuff. Let's see.
It isn't.
Yeah, again, I can't.
Can you meditate? No.
No.
Sorry.
I mean, you can meditate. There's a mini game, but that's it.
Nah, I that doesn't count. Like the Kujikiri is more like that QuickTime event. By the way, I'm curious, do you like that QuickTime events, or do you have the option to auto-fulfill them on?
When I learned about the auto, I still did them mostly, but I was not excited about them. But
I immediately
especially the
turned
meditation
the autofill on.
So now I'm sometimes doing autofill.
I do it all the time, and I'm loving it. I don't like QuickTime events. I also turned it off for like the theft with Basim in Mirage.
Yeah.
And but I left it on for the assassination in Valhalla because it then at that situation felt meaningful to really hit that assassination. Yeah.
Awesome. We also we have a bit more time here, so I had winter during the stream. It looks insane. Warzone Survivor. We won't have timed events, right? I do think we will, but we don't have like the settlement, sort of things, sort of the seasons and stuff. God Prodigy is saying, did you enjoy Shadows more than Valhalla? Yes, for sure. Although, if you watch my review till the end, there is something that I like more in Valhalla as well, but I won't talk about that here, because I put that at the end of the video for a reason. There were so many weapons
now I
in
need to
Valhalla,
watch
honestly,
it.
They would not get old quickly.
You clickbaited me.
Yes,
JorRaptor. It worked.
Yes, it worked.
I will now put it on loud.
Lil RPG is saying a new weapon would mean new finishers. Yeah, that's cool. But then for the first 2 minutes, it's like exciting. And after that, you've seen the finishers and then they're all the same. I'm not sure what I'm kind of doing here. I'm just running around. I saw that you can buy legendary weapons in the store. Can you level those up at the forge? Are the weapons you find in the game better than the ones in the store? Was kind of worried, confused seeing non-cosmetic items in there. Well, Moxie, welcome to Assassin's Creed, because this has been a thing since forever. But yeah, especially with Origins, it kind of went crazy. But yeah, those weapons just work the same as all the other weapons in the game. But to be fair, there are a lot of powerful weapons in the game as well. What I usually do with like builds and stuff is just not include those weapons, because it's kind of, but they do have a system right now, and so far it seems pretty good, but where you can earn those store weapons for free, because they have this rotating Sir-like store. Reda was it called in Valhalla, so by playing the weekly missions in the game, you can still get the store items. So they're not only microtransactions exclusive, and that's how they kind of get away with it. But of course, it's a single player game, so
but the microtransactions they are obviously pretty strong.
Yeah, 100%.
But some legendary items in that game that are for free are extremely strong as well.
Yeah. And
So,
it's
yeah.
usually a gimmick in the Helix shop. So it's usually like it works together really well with the set. So maybe the weapon the single weapon is not that great. I love this, by the way, the Kusarigama
The ranged
Rush
assassination,
Assassin.
oh, this felt so good.
I had
Like,
one at one
when I
point.
first used it, it was like, what the heck?
Yeah,
This is a thing now. I can now assassinate for and cross a distance of 3 meters
yeah,
with a press of a button.
I love it.
It's crazy.
Oh, I had it here. I did it 3 times after each other. I think at one point here.
Blurb. And then you throw a kunai at the next target, and then you double range assassin. I mean, double range assassination would be the next thing.
It's wee boink.
In Germany, we say rein in den Lachs.
Why?
It means into the salmon.
Okay. okay.
It doesn't mean anything. Just don't dump.
DJ Nova is asking, did you find yourself missing the bird companion during gameplay? No, not at all for me. I was like, some people were like asking about the bird companion during the stream yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. But even in Mirage, I never used it.
And even in Valhalla, you hardly ever used it because the Raven was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome for drone shots for videos.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the end of the use case, I would say.
Yeah, I had a
that levitating box is great. Yeah, I had very few bugs and issues. I had
really?
to say.
Okay. I cannot get one of the allies because my quest is bugged. So that's the thing. But yeah.
By the way, what are your thoughts on that ally system?
I think it's awesome because they're pretty impactful. I sometimes forget about them, so I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I should probably use them because they are really, really powerful, and they, of course, divide the attention between you and the ally, especially if you use the combat ones. I think the combat ones are certainly better than the stealth ones, but I think they're great because they are very optional. If you do the main quest, you will not get any of them. So you really have to go out of your way to do the side missions. And because they are so impactful in combat, I think it's just a really cool reward. A really cool way for it. Because we, of course, in Odyssey had these lieutenants too, but they would just stay on your ship and be more like a cosmetic thing. It was more like, oh, I remember that quest with this character, and it's cool that they are now on my ship, but that was kind of it. And here, yeah, they're in your hideout. I did not really... Yeah, because I got them all at the end, I never really saw them grow or do things in the hideout. So that part for me did not really work. But I do think it overall was a great system, and it feels like the choices there actually matter, which is nice. So yeah, I've been.
But I think the choices, they are pretty much obvious. It's like, shall we slaughter this whole village? But I pretty much think you have to be honest and honorable. Or should we leave them? It's like on that level, like really.
Yeah, but yeah, and you have this very large like warning in your screen, like warning, this will impact the ally, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's very obvious, 100%. But I do think, that it's a cool system, and you can like upgrade them. I'm excited for more of them because, I think that would be really awesome. And did you know? If you should watch more JorRaptor videos, man. No. If you play the cannon mode... No, I'm kidding. If you play the cannon mode, you can miss an ally. And then you cannot do anything about it. So, of course, for people who don't know, cannon mode lets you... it removes the dialogue options. So, yeah, it's like, make the right choice. Well, I cannot. So you're watching cutscenes like a normal game. And then you miss one ally.
Oh, that's crazy. For my new playthrough for the live stream, I started like a narrative chosen mode, the story mode. So yeah, I will likely lose that companion in that playthrough.
Yep. Thanks, Cookie Jar, by the way, for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Did we get more Prime subs? I totally did not look at that. I've been looking at you, Fragnard, Frankie boy, and this is the end of the stream.
Yeah.
You are
already
still...
We need to make a prediction now about the game Assassin's Creed Shadows, and
Yeah, what do
we
you
will
want to
then
make
talk
the
about it
predictions?
once it's released. It's not
What do you
released
want to
yet.
make the
So.
predictions about?
I want to make the prediction that there will be
So you want to make a post-launch prediction?
no about the normal game.
We can't make a prediction about the normal game if we finished it or played a lot of it.
My prediction is that in the DLC we will get a new weapon. What do you think about that?
So next to the bow, Steph.
Mm-hmm. No, obviously
no,
not.
okay, no, but yeah, tell me what do you think? Prediction
I don't know.
About the. Now let's finish our previous predictions first next week or the week after, and then
We
can
can make
start a new
sale
round.
predictions. How many units will be sold in X amount of time?
Or how many concurrent players there will be on Steam.
Oh, that's a crazy one. Yeah.
Don't go.
Yeah, let's
Googling
do
right
that.
now. Okay, what do you think?
I would say it will peak at.
Oh, it's so hard. It's gonna be very hard.
It's extremely hard. I can't
Because
like.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at like 200,000, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Teddy Bonkers. Thanks for the prime.
Exactly. I was thinking about that. Kingdom Come did not have that much of a big marketing. Assassin's Creed has far more marketing.
Yeah, but I think Kingdom Come is like a bigger PC game than Assassin's
Exactly.
Creed.
I think most of the players will be playing on PS5.
Yeah.
So I would say it's gotta be below that
But
number.
I think what did Dragon Age get? Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Hardly any. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Charts. Dragon Age the Veilguard.
It
Had
had
fun in that game.
90,000.
Hmm.
89,000. I hope Shadows gets more than that because otherwise.
I will then say Shadows gets 175,000 peak players at the first weekend.
So basically next week we will look at the Steam numbers and be like, okay, what does it get?
I wrote it in your chat. I can now not say anything about it. It's now a fact that I predicted 175 peak players at the first weekend.
Marcus MacP is saying 50 to 500 or 50 to 100k is my prediction. 150k is Warzone Survivor. Does the
Steam
live stream count
charts.
towards the drops for Shadows? Yes, this live stream counts.
I think Odyssey was released on Steam back then, or wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
It was, and it peaked at 61k. Wow, but those were different times. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. I think it will do more than Odyssey for sure.
And Origins?
I'm gonna say 110.
Origins peaked at 41k. 110. Yeah, you're likely gonna win. I think I was too ambitious with that, but
You can still change, because we now.
can you write it down, because I can't stream our chat now because I'm streaming our Discord window, so I can't write it down. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want once and for all? You said 175? Or
Yeah, we'll then maybe say 150 if I can correct it. If that's cool for you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I will say 110,001.
That's not possible.
It's always the classic, right?
There's no way it doesn't do well. It's an AC game. Yeah, that is true. But the problem is, Lee Gaming, it needs to do much better than just good.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I will continue my live stream and switch to German after this one. So we can't have our post-stream talk. I don't know. Will you keep on streaming or will you end the show?
No, I will end as well. I will be back tomorrow with the weekly reset stream, everyone.
That's awesome. Oh, it's already reset. I need to. I will in this stream today.
No, it resets tomorrow.
Yeah. I have to do the Animus quest still. I have two open. I have to do them on stream now. We're gonna do that.
Good. Yeah, very good.
Within like maybe an 18-hour save game or so.
There's one for the tournament.
Oh, I have to do that offline then. Yeah.
Or you can just do it online. I won't tell anyone.
I can show something else and say, oh, what's this over here?
Can I rate you? I'm such a
Yeah, you
Twitch
can
noob.
actually rate
How
me.
do I do that? Do I need to
Slash
go
rate Fragnard in the chat.
in my in my chat?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Like I put it in there, but it's likely saying that I spammed something. Yeah, that would be awesome, obviously, but we're switching to German,
No,
so
no, don't do that then, because we're
now we're
getting a lot
staying
of
English,
viewers.
obviously.
No, but so if you want to get the drops, I mean, Fragnard, like, let's not tell him, but you can also mute the stream and still get the drops, right?
Can you? I'm not too sure. Twitch actually
Oh,
sees when you mute the stream.
oh,
And I,
really?
as a streamer, get the notice of that. And sometimes people ask things and they are muted, and I'm like, huh? Doesn't make sense.
Oh,
But,
we're going there now.
oh, crazy! I will
Oh.
join that raid. Sounds awesome. Thank you so much
Okay,
for that
thanks everyone for doing
support.
that. That's crazy. This is the first time that I'm rating someone. Oh, I can like.
Really?
There are 250 people that are ready to rate you. We're still doing a bit of Valhalla right
Raid is
here.
rocking. Yeah, Valhalla, good old times.
Okay.
I
But
need to
yeah,
then
thanks
boot
everyone
AC
for watching, of
Shadows.
course. Yeah, we will be back here every Wednesday, and we can't wait for the next show because then, yeah, we are curious to hear your input. How are you feeling about the game after a week? And of course, we will be discussing some news if there is any post-launch news. At one point, there I have to drop the post-launch trailer. I'm excited about that. And yeah, in the meantime, let's yeah, of course, can't wait for you to play the game finally. It's been a long time, and we're so close now. So tune in next week for that. Tomorrow, on the main channel, I'll do the weekly reset stream. So yeah, that will be back to the good old days where every week we go over the weekly quest, the weekly items, and all that good stuff. And hopefully they will add some fun weekly things as well. So yeah, exciting times. Frankie Boy, of course, check that channel out as well if you want the good old English Fragnard, because he has two sides.
He
Or
exists.
if you're German, of course you probably already know about Fragnard. So yeah, we're ready to rate. It's gonna happen right now.
Thank you so much, and I will speak to you in the next one. And